What is going on, you guys? My name is Evan Vaughan, and this is the Augmented Developer Podcast. So, what is the Augmented Developer? Well, it's something I've been super excited about with some recent developments. Obviously, AI is a big topic right now, since those large language models have been really changing the shape of the AI landscape. It's almost like pre-2020 was like the Middle Ages for AI, funny enough. Since all of that's been changing, there's a lot of stuff that's being impacted by that. I think what this podcast and some of the resources that I have, what makes it stand out from some of the other resources is this is very applied for the technical audience. So if you come from a software engineering or software developer background, or if you come from network administration, you come from CI/CD, DevOps, whatever it might be, cybersecurity, this is the podcast for you. We will not be going over no code. We will not really be touching on vibe coding, especially because this is all about how do we make ourselves more productive with generating better and quicker solutions in unison with artificial intelligence. I call it hybrid intelligence. It's not my quote, unfortunately, but I like that phrase, hybrid intelligence. How do we get better with hybrid intelligence? So that's what this podcast is about. It's also what my curriculum is about. I did launch a Skool Academy called the AADA. That's the AI Augmented Developer Academy, where we do a really big deep dive into how we use specific tools to enhance our development lifecycle. This is more specific to software developers, but we have sub-communities that are industry specific or skill set specific. Like I said, if you're in network or cybersecurity, some of those other offshoots. In any case, that's kind of what this is all about. And I'm very excited to start creating some content about it, something I'm very passionate about. A little bit about me. So I came from Colorado School of Mines. I transitioned pretty quickly into industry. I worked for the National Renewable Energy Lab, did cybersecurity there for 2 years. Learned a ton around CI/CD and cybersecurity tools, and then I transitioned into private. I worked with a air quality assessment company, building dashboards for them, and then transitioned to the business I'm in now, which is the Regis company. And very unique company, and they have a really cool model right now that's very modern. Essentially what they do is leadership development. And I'm part of a platform that creates content for these leadership development simulations using large language models. So a lot of context linking, a very interesting problem that I've been working on for a little while now. In any case, in this job, I've learned a ton about the capabilities of AI. And I got very interested in certain trends that have come up lately. Now, I think it's safe to say that a lot of things are changing, and if you can't see that yet, I think you'll probably start noticing it more and more throughout this year. I'd say in a year from now, if you're still coding, you're probably not going to be in that job for long because likely that business is going to go out of business. What's been happening with AI is unprecedented. I mean, I'd say it's pretty safe to say about 80 to 90% of the code that I develop now for production ready code is through AI. And as things get better and better at fortifying that code, as humans become kind of more intuitive about where these agents sit, I really do believe that entire teams are going to be working alongside with an entire team of agents within their workflows to 4 or 5 times their output. And those businesses are going to be the ones that succeed in the tech industry. Like I said, there's a lot changing right now. And I think the sooner that you can see that and get ahead of it, the better off you're going to be. Now, some of the individuals I've been really interested in working with particularly, and I released this Skool Academy. This really targets the early career adopters. And so if you're a recent graduate or you're jumping into this industry for the first time, I kind of made some of this Skool curriculum for you. The reason being is I think your brain is fresh. I think that you have a capacity to ingest and work with some of this new ideology very quickly. And I'm excited to get you rolling into this very exciting industry at a very exciting time. And so what do I mean by that? If you're a recent grad, especially in computer science, you've got this really, really good bowl of background. You've got computer architecture, you've got software architecture, you've got algorithms, all of this, a ton of languages and frameworks that you've worked with. If you've had a year or two in industry, you've probably worked with more. And so none of that needs to go away. In fact, I think it's more important to get a lot of general knowledge as a human being, because the better that you can plan and scope out a project, the better that you can direct an AI down the right path. You kind of think of it as artificial intelligence can spit out a ton of information like that. And so how do you take a non-deterministic agent or a large language model and turn it into something deterministic, something tangible that solves a problem for you? Well, you put boundaries around it, very strategic ones. Sometimes you want more creativity, you make those boundaries wider. Sometimes you want a very narrow solution, you make those boundaries much more narrow. And so that's what we're doing with some of that background knowledge that you have as a technical engineer, is harnessing some of that problem solving ability, but not necessarily coding anymore. You're going to be at the top orchestrating all of these different agents. And there's a chance you're going to be working with 10 to 20 of these guys, a lot of them behind the scenes, helping you along becoming more productive and a better problem solver. And that's ultimately what I'm excited about, and I'm hoping to instill in some of you guys as well. The way I've done this is I've developed a shift framework, is what I call it. S is for scope, H is for harness, I is for iterate, F is for fortify, and T is for transform. We'll dive more into this in our 8-week accelerator program on that Skool program. But in any case, this breaks down a life cycle that I've seen works extremely well for either a new code base or an existing code base that you need to develop a feature for. And so it covers those two, which is really what most developers are doing anyway right now. But more importantly, it just packages this into a framework that's easily consumable. We dive into very specific technologies, and then we dive into a lot of mindset shifts of what's the responsibilities of humans, what are the responsibilities of agents, and what strengths do either of those have when working together. So that's kind of step one of this academy structure. And then past that, once you graduate that 8-week course, you're an augmented developer, you're ready to jump in. We've got weekly calls. I'm going to bring in some industry partners as well, which I'm very excited about. These industry partners are going to jump in here and they're going to send out some challenges for you guys. So like I said, I'm interested in those recent college graduates. They're looking to get in the industry. These industry partners are jumping in. They're saying, hey, I've got a real business problem that I need solved. I don't quite have the capital to do it internally, but I know that we can start developing things really quickly if you've got the brain to do this. And so they're going to post these problems for our academy to solve. And if you can crush this or at least make significant progress on it, these industry partners are going to be looking to bring obviously more people onto their teams who can think this way. And so I want to bridge that gap, new college graduates learning this new way of thinking into these industry partners who are interested in new talent that can harness this. So that's really what all of this is about. Each podcast that I post is going to be kind of following some of this curriculum. I'm also going to be talking about stuff that you guys bring up. So I want this community to be an open source brain dump of things that you guys have found that work really well in your workflows, as well as things that I've found. And we're just going to brain dump on this academy and see just how much productivity we can get out there by helping each other out. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this, I do have that Skool community. That 8-week course is going to be a paid course. Very, very valuable in my opinion. It's something that I put myself through over the last 4 or 5 months, and it's been super valuable. If that's not quite for you, you just want to jump into some of the industry partner challenges and whatnot, just join the community, jump in there. I'd love to meet you. In any case, keep an eye out for more podcasts like this. And I will see you guys on those weekly calls and in the next episode. We'll see ya.